Angela's Ashes. Written and read by Frank McCourt. My father and mother should have stayed in New York, where they met and married and where I was born. Instead, they returned to Ireland when I was 4. When I look back at my childhood, I wonder how I survived it all. It was, of course, a miserable childhood. A happy childhood is hardly worth your while. Worse than the ordinary miserable childhood is the miserable Irish childhood, and worse yet is the miserable Irish Catholic childhood. People everywhere brag or whimper about the woes of their early years, but nothing can compare with the Irish version. The poverty, the shiftless, loquacious, alcoholic father, the pious, defeated mother moaning by the fire, pompous priest bullying schoolmasters, the English, and the terrible things they did to us for 800 long years. Above all, we were wet. Out in the Atlantic Ocean, great sheets of rain gathered to drift slowly up the River Shannon and settle forever in Limerick. The rain dampened the city from the Feast of the Circumcision to New Year's Eve. It created a cacophony of hacking coughs, bronchial rattles, asthmatic wheezes, consumptive croaks. It turned noses into fountains, lungs into bacterial sponges. From October to April, the walls of Limerick glistened with the damp. Clothes never dried. In pubs, steam rose from damp bodies and garments to be inhaled with cigarette and pipe smoke. The rain drove us into the church, our refuge, our strength, our only dry place. We huddled in great damp clumps, dozing through priest drone, while steam rose from our clothes to mingle with the sweetness of incense, flowers, and candles. Limerick gained a reputation for piety, but we knew it was only the rain. My father, Malachy McCourt, was born on a farm in Tuam, County Antrim. He fought with the old IRA, and for some desperate act, he wound up a fugitive with the price on his head. When I was a child, I would look at my father, the thinning hair, the collapsing teeth, and wonder why anyone would give money for a head like that. When I was 13, my father's mother told me a secret. As a wee lad, your poor father was dropped on his head. He was never the same after, and you must remember that people dropped on their heads can be a bit peculiar. Because of the price on the head he had been dropped on, he had to be spirited out of Ireland. In New York, with prohibition in full swing, he thought he had died and gone to hell for his sins. Then he discovered speakeasies, and he rejoiced. My mother, the former Angela Sheehan, grew up in a Limerick slum with her mother, 2 brothers, Thomas and Patrick, and a sister, Agnes. She never saw her father, who had run off to Australia weeks before her birth. My mother's troubles began the night she was born. There's my grandmother in the bed, gasping with the labour pains, praying to St. Gerard Magella, patron saint of expectant mothers. There's Nurse O'Halloran, the midwife, all dressed up in her finery. It's New Year's Eve, and Mrs. O'Halloran is anxious for this child to be born so that she can rush off to the parties and the celebrations. She tells my grandmother, will you push, and never mind St. Gerard Magella? What can a man do for a woman at a time like this, even if he is a saint? St. Gerard Magella, my arse. My grandmother switches her prayers to St. Anne, patron saint of difficult labour, but the child won't come. Nurse O'Halloran tells my grandmother, pray to St. Jude. St. Jude, patron of desperate cases, help me, I'm desperate. She grunts and pushes, and the infant's head appears, and it's the stroke of midnight, the new year. Limerick City erupts with whistles, horns, sirens, brass bands, people calling and singing Happy New Year. Church bells all over ring out the Angelus, and Nurse O'Halloran weeps for the waste of a dress. Will you come out, child, will you? Grandma gives a great push, and the child is in the world, a lovely girl with black curly hair and sad blue eyes. Ah, Lord above, says Nurse O'Halloran, this child is a time-straddler, born with
Sample complete. Ready to continue?